Hello and welcome back to another episode of the DIYguy.net. Alright, today we got a 2008 F450. What we're going to do is replace these headlights or upgrade them. These are the factory headlights. They're starting to get hazed over pretty well. They do have an LED bulb for the headlights, high and low, but the turn signal and the running light are still the older style bulbs. Alright, so for the replacement headlights, we went with an Alpha Rex Lux Pro. These are the black edition, no chrome in it, high and low beam, LED. Has the switchback LED for the turn signal and daytime running lights. So this came with a daytime running harness that we need to hook up. So this truck will have daytime running headlights. So we'll go ahead and show you those real quick. Then we'll go ahead and pop the hood, grab an 8mm socket and ratchet, and go ahead and disconnect both batteries. Alright, so here they are. We got them unboxed. Like I said, Alpha Rex Lux Pro Edition here. That's what they're going to look like. Here is our daytime running harness. So there's the control box, a fuse in there. This part right here goes into your factory fuse box. So you'll pull one of the fuses and then place it right here next to the blue fuse that comes with it. We'll show you that a little bit closer once we get there. We got the battery terminals, positive and negative. Now this little lead here, you got one on each side of the harness. This is actually going to go back to the back of the headlight to give it that daytime running headlight. So you got one for the driver and one for the passenger side. So if you come around back of the headlights, it should be a plug and play installation. We do have our connections here and here to fit the truck. This is the one I was talking about that is going to turn into our daytime running headlights. You do have an adjuster here for your low beam. Same thing on the other headlight as well. Alright, so we're on the passenger side. We've got the hood up. Right here is our battery terminal. On the passenger side, we're going to go ahead and grab that 8mm and a ratchet and remove the negative terminal. We're going to go ahead and tuck it down in there. We can also cover the post with something just to make sure it doesn't spring back and make a connection. We'll go ahead and remove the driver's side post as well. We won't show you that because it's going to be the exact same thing. And then we'll go ahead and get started on replacing the headlights. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and start on the passenger side. So there are 4 7mm bolts you'll need to remove. So you're going to need a socket of 7mm, probably about an 8-inch extension, and then the ratchet. And there's also going to be a clip kind of right here at the top, which we could show you, and one lower here that we need to pop out of the fender to go ahead and remove the headlight. So down in there, right there at the top, you can kind of see the clip. And right there is a bolt, so that's 1. Come down the side, you got 2, below that 3, and then right along the bumper and where the fender meet, you can just see that guy in there. That is your 4th one. So we'll go ahead and remove all 4 of those bolts, and then we'll go ahead and grab it, pull the headlight straight out, and undo those clips. So now we got all of our clips out, we're going to pull straight out. We'll go ahead and grab a flat screwdriver under there, pop the clip out for that, get that removed, and then undo our bulbs or clips for our wiring going to the headlight. We'll just probably take the bulbs out of the headlight and then undo our wiring. All right, we got the passenger side removed. We'll go ahead and repeat the process on the driver's side. All right, so now that we have the driver's side headlight removed, we can go ahead and install our daytime running light harness here for these headlights. I'm going to start over here on the driver's side. Right in here is a nice spot on the radiator support where we can use some double-sided tape and mount this control box, which we'll do later. Give us plenty of wire to rake our leads to the battery and also run that gray wire over into our fuse box. So what we're going to do is go ahead and just get the wires in there. We're going to go tuck the ones that are running to the headlight out to the driver's side. That'll be the shorter one. We'll take the passenger lead and we're just going to follow the hood release cable all the way across to get to the passenger side, and we'll go ahead and zip tie to it. You could route yours however you want. That's how we're going to do this one. Like I said, so we're just going to use some small black zip ties. Like I said, zip tie it up to our hood release cable. Alright, so there's what it looks like. Like I said, we're just going to self-stick the control box to the inside of the radiator support once we clean it. The driver's side comes out here. Passenger just follows that hood release cable all the way around, down, and into this passenger side. Alright, now that we are finished installing the harness behind the headlight, we can go ahead and install the headlight. We're going to start with the passenger side. I want to make sure all our connections are pushed in and clipped in and nice and tight. And we'll go ahead and clip the headlight into our 2 clips. And then we'll go ahead and start the 4 bolts. Now this is our daytime running harness headlight. Goes on that little white pigtail sticking out of the back of the light. The 2 covers should slide together and cover the connection. Keep on going down here. So far everything has been plug and play, clipped right in. There we go. Like I said, make sure to give them a little pull, make sure they all don't come apart. Alright, we're ready to go ahead and set this back in. Sensor right there for a minute. Tuck this behind our hood latch cable. Pull the plastic a little bit so it doesn't get caught in the fender. Okay, that is it. We're clipped in. All right, so I got the passenger side done. We'll switch over and do the driver side. Alright, so we got the driver's headlight installed. All 4 bolts are in and tight. We're going to move on to making our electrical connection on our battery for our daytime running harness. Also, we need to remove the fuse box cover, gain access to that so we can go ahead and put the signal or trigger wire in there so the daytime running lights function. Alright, so I'll give you a quick little view of what it's going to look like. It's going to be hard to kind of get a good camera angle, so we'll run you through it. So like I said, right down in here is where the control box is. If I move this cable out of the way, you can see that nice spot right down in there. That is where I'm going to use the rubbing alcohol, clean that off, use that double-sided tape, and mount the control box right there. Our wires will come up here. We'll have this black wire here going on to our negative post right behind the nut there. The positive side, we'll do the same thing. We'll run it in here and right onto that red nut right there. Now for this gray wire, we'll run it underneath around our battery box right here. We'll go ahead and undo this clip here, this little twist, and then it hinges up. You can kind of wiggle it, you can pull it out. That'll gain you access to your fuse box, which is right here. So push in on that part here. It'll hinge out of the way. Just kind of wiggle it. Alright, so I'm going to try to do this one-handed, so I'm not sure how well it's going to work out. Like I said, we're going to pull that 10 out and install the 10 amp in this first. So like I said, it goes right there next to the blue one. Make sure it's all the way tight. Go ahead and flip this in there. Go ahead and plug that back in where that 10 was. Just like that. Route our wire to come through and out over here. Get it to clip. Alright, so we'll go ahead and run our positive cable first. Like I said, we'll try to get it to go through this boot here. Put it on the back side underneath, it's less noticeable. So we're just going to go ahead and loosen this cable, tuck this in there, and then retighten it. So we'll need our 8mm and our ratchet. Just got to tuck behind the cable. Let's go ahead and tighten it up. Put our cover back over it. I may zip tie that up there later just to give it a cleaner look. We'll loosen this one a little bit more here. Tuck our ground wire to the control box in there. Then we'll go ahead and reinstall our cable back on the battery. And then tighten it down. Alright, so now we got our negative on this side connected. We'll go to the pass side and reconnect that. Like I said, we'll come back here after we test everything and just button it up by putting some self-stick tape on the control box, tucking that up there, maybe zip tying and making this look a little nicer, maybe putting some wire loom on there as well, just to dress that part up. So let's go over there, put the passenger side cable on, and then we'll go ahead and give it a test. Alright, so we got the passenger side battery connected. We're going to go ahead and pull the film off the headlight. Then we'll go ahead and turn the key on and give them a test to make sure everything functions and they work properly. Alright, so we got the wiring taken care of. The last step to finalize the installation is going to be to level the headlights. It's a pretty straightforward procedure. We'll just run you through it. We won't show you, as we're going to do it when it is dark outside or in the evening here when it is getting darker, just because it's easier to see that cutoff line and actually level the headlights. So to do this, you want to park the truck on somewhere nice and level and flat if you can, maybe in front of your garage door or in front of a nice flat spot on your house or wall. You want to use that wall to level the headlights out. So in the back of the headlight here, if you look down inside, you'll see this silver bolt sticking out here, but this is the one right there. That head right there will turn it. If you turn it clockwise, it is going to lower the beam. If you turn it counterclockwise, it'll raise the beam. Now you may want to do a couple clicks on this side going down and a couple of that up on that side just to kind of level it out. You're kind of going to figure out what works for your vehicle, whether you have a leveling kit, it's factory ride height, or you have a lift kit. That beam cutoff off the ground is all going to be different. So like I said, you may want to do a couple clicks each way to kind of bring them in rather than just work one all the way down and be, that the light is too low for you and then have to come back and readjust it. So it may work better, like I said, just bring one down a little bit, one up a little bit, kind of split the difference, and then take it for a ride and see if that works for you. Alright, so that's it. We've shown you how to replace the headlights in a 2008 to 2010 F250, 350, and 450. If you have some recommendations on upgraded fog lights, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to click the link in the description, which will take you to our website for a full write-up. You can also click that subscribe button placed in the middle for you. On the right, you'll find a recommended video just for you. And on the left side, you'll see our recent upload. Thanks for watching another episode of the DIYguy.net.